Alright guys, so in this video we're gonna see how I painted this man which is riding on top of this elephant. So I used red, orange and yellow color pencils to do the turban that this man is wearing. And so this Indian man is the one who is riding on top of this elephant that brings the tourists up the Amber Fort. So I used different colors like red, orange and yellow, and we see that now we have this red that is forming on the left hand side of the turban that I'm doing using the small brush. And so I'm just trying to combine this red with the orange, and this is going to be connected with the yellow, and we'll see later on. So again, this is a technique that we are very familiar with, that is the dry brush technique. And so this is very good when it comes to doing the costumes and the the things that the people are wearing here, because they are very rustic and very traditional, and they have very rich colors. And so by using this dry brush technique, that will represent all the colors very well, with all these different kinds of things that make up the turban, the shirt, the costume, the saris and all those things. Right, so again, we don't want to use the same color, and that's why I'm actually combining the reds. And even in the reds, there are dark reds and light reds, and of course using the color pencil to help me with doing this orange and combining the orange with the red, and that will also help us to have all these very amazing colors. And these colors are coming together because we have all these colors that are close to each other on the color wheel, and so they are able to relate well with each other, and there's no real effort for us to try to combine them or to link them up using some very difficult ways. Right, so using that black color pencil, just trying to make sure that we have the left hand side of the turban being done, and we have this small brush that is used to create this left hand side of the turban. And by using the black color pencil and also the orange and the yellows and all these different kinds of colors, we are trying to combine the yellows and the reds and everything. Right, so this is very important when it comes to doing objects. When we have the same color for one object, we will try to make sure that we have all these changing colors, and that will make it more rich and more interesting. Right, so here we have the use of these black colors, and these black colors are being combined with the browns. And so I use a small brush and some browns and a red color pencil to paint the face. Right, so right there we have this brown tone that is used to paint the face of this Indian man. And so we would want to also change the kind of browns that we use to paint the face. And so we have the use of these browns, lighter browns for the middle part of the face, but darker browns when it is actually near to the hair area and the beard area, the chin area. And so these are some of the very subtle things when it comes to painting human figures, especially the skin tones of people with darker skins, because this is something that you can do to make it very attractive when we have all these browns and blacks and all these yellows and oranges that can be used to do all these skin tones, right? So again, using that small brush, I'm just trying to combine these yellows and these browns together. And so this is done by using that small brush to connect all these darker parts, and all these darker parts are used to be combined with the rest of the areas, so leaving white that ear area, which we will fill in later because the ear is of different color. So again, using that black color pencil, just trying to touch up this area. And you can see that I'm very careful when it comes to doing faces, because any small mistake can be very obvious when it comes to doing the human face and human head. And so especially when a painting is so the head is so small, in this painting we would need to make sure that we have everything right in the right position with the right colors, and that is very important for us. So using that small brush, I'm just trying to make sure that we have all these, blacks and browns and orange, again leaving white that area for the eyes. And you can see right now the ear is being done because just painted in the brown tones for the ears, and I'm just using the reds and the browns to kind of like depict the eye area, and also the area that is to the right hand side, which is he has some mustache, so we are using some black to kind of like depict the area above his lips. And then we have some of the browns, and then we have these brown, dark browns to depict the mouth, and his lips are not pink but are mostly brown because we can't really see the redness on his lips from this distance. And so I'm using that white color pencil and also some pink color pencils. We are trying to depict some of those details on the face, and you can see right now the face is done, and I'm now using different colors to do the hands. So similar colors to the skin tones that we just did, okay, using the brown tones and the dark tones and all these different kinds of tones, different kinds of browns. Again, painting the fingers. So the fingers right here is not that easy to paint, again because of the different folds of the fingers, the black areas between each finger, and so we would want to be careful when we are painting all these different kinds of fingers. And so this is something that is very it may not be that easy for beginners, but you can use the color pencil like this, using this brown color pencil, this pink color pencil, that can help us to do all these details, using the color pencil right here. Right, so this part here is being done with the pink and also the black color pencil, and so we need to have this part here that is being colored with the dark brown color pencil. And so we want to leave white the middle part of the palm because it is lighter, which we'll use the red kind of color pencil to help us with doing the middle part of the palm right there. Right, so we are almost done with the hand. So using that small brush, I'm just trying to combine all these different colors together. So the thing is about using this watercolor pencils is that you can kind of like spread out the pigment from the watercolor pencil by using a brush and using the water to kind of like spread out, okay, some of the pigments. And so by doing this will actually create this kind of like watercolor effect, but it is actually done by using these watercolor pencils. Okay, so using this white color pencil, we are just trying to make sure that we have all these details in place. So now we are moving on to drawing the shirt that this man is wearing. So although this shirt is white in color, but we are trying to use these gray tones, these gray kinds of strokes to create the folds on the shirt. And this is very important because we need to have all these different kinds of gray tones, and the shirt is not completely white because it actually consists of all these folds, and so these folds would need to be able to be seen by all these strokes that we are seeing right now. Okay, so we are doing like different kinds of gray. We can have cool grays, we can have warm grays by using browns mixing with grays. So use different kinds of grays, again lighter grays, darker grays, more bluish grays, more brownish grays, even greenish grays, and different strokes to create all these folds that you're seeing right now. Okay, so all these folds are very important. Again, doing the pocket area, and there is a small little logo right there, which I'm using the color pencil to help me paint the logo. So you can see that I'm really detailed when it comes to painting human figures, and you can see right now that this man is coming out very nicely with all these things that are being added. All these details are being added so that we have all these different kinds of details that will really make up all these very interesting things that we see, like the folds of the shirt. We can darken the folds. We can use the small brush to kind of like help us to darken all these folds. And then we can use the light brown to help us with painting some of the areas, and of course adding in some of the details for the shirt as well, which we'll do so later. But right now, just adding in some of the folds because of the rolling up of the sleeves. And so this is done by using all these gray strokes, and these gray strokes are being added so that we can have all these different lines that will represent all these folds on the left hand side. Right, so we are almost done with this man right here, and just trying to do all these folds, right? So we still have some of the collars and also the other arm right there. So again, here using some of the brown strokes. So this brown is in contrast with the gray tones that we just did earlier on, and so we need to combine these browns with the gray tones that we just did, and we have this kinds of subtly different kinds of grays, which is very useful and very important when we're actually doing all these folds of the shirt, because when we have different kinds of grays, that will make it more interesting, and not just one kind of gray that will bore the viewer to death, but rather having all these subtly changing kinds of tones is what is most important, right? And so we will want to use the brush again to do some of the outlines. So these are some of the shadows that are formed because of the folds on the collar, and also below that the folds of the shirt. So again, using some of the black lines, I'm just going to do some of the shadow areas and the darker areas, and you can see right there is a large shadow area which is underneath that hand right there, which shows the darker areas. And we're now using that small brush to kind of like show that we have this dark area that is just below that hand right there. Right, so using that small brush, I'm just trying to touch up on this area, and we are coming to a close, the end of this man right here. So the final part here will be done by using that brush, and we are going to do some of the darker areas that make up the collar, and also it connects the neck area to the rest of the shirt. Right, so this part here is pretty dark because you can see that is the opening of the shirt collar, and I'm just going to make sure that we have these dark lines that also make up the rest of the shirt. Okay, so we have all these dark lines and dark blues and all these kinds of things, and we just want to make sure that we have all these gray tones that are being added on to the shirt itself. And very quickly we have come to almost the end of how this man is being portrayed. Okay, so you can see that I actually did a lot of gray tones, different kinds of gray tones for the shirt. You can see how I use different colors for the turban. You can see how I use the different skin tones for the skin of this Indian man. We can have dark tones, we can have orange and some brown tones, and finally of course doing the shadow areas, and again touching up with that brush, just trying to make sure that we have all these folds of the shirt in place, and just trying to darken some parts. So this final touching up is done so that we can have this man that is being painted in a very convincing way with all these very nice folds and darker areas that we are now adding in, and all these details will make the man come even more alive as he is riding this elephant. And we're going to see how we are going to paint this elephant in the next few videos, so do stay tuned for that. Hey everyone, it's KY Tom here. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed my video, please hit the like button and comment down below. Do consider to subscribe to my channel for more art videos. Check out the links on the description below to find out more about my art, and I hope to see you in the next one.